there, this is Jenny from the Sewing Palace. Today I'm going to show you a fun project called Lil Nellie. It's a cute table runner made out of charm squares and background fabric. It's designed by GE Designs. We'll get started with a couple of supplies and some things to collect. We're ready to start collecting your items. You'll need the Lil Nellie pattern, and it has great instructions on how to get started and how to cut your items. It also features a couple of different rulers. If you have the Stripology ruler, that's a really fun ruler to use. I'm going to show you some other ways to do that. You'll also need a charm pack of your choice. This behind me is made from the brand new collection from Tula Pink. It's called Homemade. So we have charm packs in that. We also have layer cakes, and you can get those on our website. So both of those are available. Then you'll need your basic sewing supplies. So you need your rotary cutter. I love this rotary cutter from Quilters Select. Some sort of marking utensil. Today I'm using a friction pen. You could use a starch alternative, which is Best Press and Terreal Magic, and I mix those two, a little bit of this, so a third of that, 2/3 of Best Press, and you can mix it in this bottle here, and it makes it go a little longer and it doesn't spray out splotches. It's very misty when you put it on. You'll also need some cutting utensils, so I've got a 7.5-inch square ruler and a specialty ruler from Bloc Loc. This is a half square triangle ruler, and it measures to 4.5. And then you need some background fabric. We also have a kit available at the store, and it's on our website as well. So collect your supplies. Don't forget your sewing machine and your 1/4-inch foot and some good thread, and we'll get ready to sew. Let's look at our block. So this is a finished block, and you will make several of those for your table runner. What happens is you make these units, and they live in the corners like so. So you make these. This is a half a block, and this is a full block. When you put the table runner together, you'll need 2 of these half blocks, and the rest will be full blocks. And then let's work on making our pieces for our block next. We're ready to start picking our fabrics, so you'll need 26 charm squares. Most charm squares come as a pack of 42, or you can cut them yourself. AccuQuilt also has a 5-inch die that you can do that with. So you need some charm squares and background fabric. When you get those pieces, you're going to cut your background fabric into 5-inch squares. You can also buy charm squares in neutral colors. So you will lay them right sides together, and you're going to make a half square triangle unit. So that unit is made by laying them right sides together. Then you get a square ruler, and you mark diagonally from point to point. I have the 7.5-inch square, and I have a friction pen, and I'm going to mark that angle from point to point. The pattern has you cut some of the pieces, the charm squares, in half diagonally, so that would yield something that looks like this. And you can also do that. You're going to achieve the same thing. You will lay them right sides together. And then you'll sew a 1/4-inch from this line that you either marked or this point where those 2 fabrics join. So you'll sew a 1/4-inch from each side of that of your marked line. Once you have that step done, you will have a piece that is sewn, and it will yield 2 half square triangle units. You'll press those, you'll cut them apart. So I'll use my rotary cutter to cut them apart. And you can just cut right on your line, and then you'll press towards whatever fabric you consider the dark fabric. You'll press that, and you'll have it lay nice and flat. Once that step is done, you're going to square this block up to 4.5. The nice thing about specialty rulers is they do some jobs very, very well. This one in particular makes half square triangles from 4.5 inches down to whatever small size you want, down to 1 inch. It's called the Bloc Loc half square triangle unit ruler. I have pressed my seam on this one towards the gray, so you can see that. And then when I lay my ruler into place, and I can read the writing on my ruler, it will lock into that seam. and it will be easy to trim around. When you use a regular ruler, it's flat and it doesn't have the routed out edge that this one has. So when you put a regular ruler down on here, you'll have a teeter-totter on that seam allowance, and that can create a point where you slip. So this makes it very nice to square up. The other cool thing about this ruler is it's exactly 4.5, and so you're going to trim all the way around that. I do have a rotating mat, and you can rotate to all the sides. I'll just do it with one hand or the other. And we'll trim this down so that this measures 4.5 inches. So there I have that unit. Next, we're going to cut it up and start making our block. Now you will have made a lot of half square triangles that measure 4.5 inches. When you go to make this unit, you will yield 2 out of this square. So there's one on this side and one on that side. So you'll have one of each color. And when you go to put these together, let's look at our block. These are exactly the same block. They are arranged the same as far as this block here. And this one on the other side is a mirror image. So you'll see when I lay that down, it wouldn't fit in this position. So you have 26 of a right-hand side and 26 of a left-hand side. And if you don't want it to be scrappy and you want the colors to be across from each other, you need to make sure you're cutting 26 of the same color of each one. So this was a block like that, and this piece would not fit here because it's not the right direction for the cut. So you just want to be cognizant of that you need half of one direction and half of the other. In the pattern, they refer to it as the A group and the B group. So when you go to do that, this would be the A group and this would be the B group. You have your half square triangle, and then you subcut it into equidistant cuts. And so I'm going to do that on this one here. And the cuts are in the pattern that tell you what to cut it down to. And once you have those cut, you'll have these little segments. Then you just rearrange your block so that you have that cute little sawtooth. And you can see these are mirror images of each other. And if you were to put them together in the quilt, this would be on this side, and that would be on that side. So here our block is right here. So you'll make 26 of layout A and 26 of layout B, and then you'll start assembling your blocks. So you've got lots of cute varieties of blocks depending on which ones you put across from each other. Now we'll get ready to start assembling our table runner. Now that you've made all of your blocks, you will need 12 full blocks, which are these, and you will need 2 half blocks, which are these. So when you offset the first row, you need a half block here, and then you will build from a full block and a half block. And when they meet in the middle, you'll have this cute little secondary pattern that's created. And you'll build your table runner, continuing with each one. And at the opposite corner, I put the half block in the upper right-hand corner here. At the opposite corner, the other half block would go at the bottom, and you would have straight edges top and bottom. And you would have just the most cute table runner. And we also have a kit here that's for Lil Nellie, and these are all charm packs that we picked from our collection of fabrics here at the store, and we cut them all with an AccuQuilt 5-inch square. The kit includes the background, which is this beautiful teal, and then a pretty binding and the pattern. So you can get started making a cute table runner. Those are available on our website. We hope you have fun making the Lil Nellie table runner. This is Jenny from The Sewing Palace signing off. Thank you. Bye-bye.